Mental health problems, they've been in the news a lot recently, and studies have proven that they actually start off in childhood. I can vouch for that, seeing as mine did actually start when I was a lot younger than I think I probably realised. My dad was an alcoholic and my mum had quite severe depression, and growing up it was quite difficult in my house, to be honest. My own personal serious case of mental health issues started probably after the birth of my daughter when I was 20. I wasn't aware at the time, but I was suffering quite badly with postnatal depression, and that saw me attempt to take my own life for the first time, which resulted in me being in hospital. I managed to somehow talk my way around all of that and to say that things weren't as bad as what they actually were, and I think that was really how my life kind of progressed for about 10 years after that, faking it, kind of numbing everything down. I drank a lot, I'd party a lot, I'd make sure I was never by myself, I'd work an awful lot. I managed to kind of continue on a working path and put myself into my career and kind of went along that road. I got closer to my daughter eventually. I had my little boy 4 years ago, and the experience between that was so very different. I was terrified. I hated being pregnant. I was terrified. I thought, I struggled with one child. How am I going to manage with two? I'd lost my job and my home at the time, and I didn't know how I was going to, at 27 years old, how I wasn't fit to look after myself, and I started to think, how on earth am I going to be able to look after two children? And it wasn't until March 2017 that it hit the worst point of my life, and that was my second attempt. At that point I could have chosen to give in completely. Obviously it failed, hence I'm sitting here, but I could have chosen to keep trying, or I chose to fight, and I decided that my children are everything to me. I needed to start living for them. I needed to stop ignoring what was going on in my head. I needed to stop pretending that all the things in my life hadn't happened, and that I was this strong person that nothing affected, that I didn't have feelings and I didn't have emotions and I didn't care, because at the end of the day I did care a lot. So I started taking counselling and learned a lot about myself. I'm so proud that I'm teaching my children that it is not something to be ashamed of. I don't want them to grow up in a house like I grew up in. If it's yourself struggling, just please, you're not alone. Like, everybody finds it hard. No one is the perfect parent. You are doing the best you can do. Please believe that. If you have the thoughts that I talked about, or you feel so miserable, or you don't want to get out of bed, or you don't feel a connection with your children, try and talk to somebody, anybody, a friend, a family member, your GP, someone that you've never met before, Middlesbrough and Stockton Mind, anyone. Just you don't even have to give your full story, just say, I need help, I am struggling. This Mental Health Awareness Week, I want to put a big emphasis on parenting, how unpredictable and stressful life can be. You might be old, you might be young, you might be a child, you might be a grandparent even. Your situations don't have to define you. There is help out there if you want to reach out. Don't be ashamed to admit that you're struggling. It's not a bad thing.